Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Crafting with Class. Today I'm sharing the Anna Griffin Create 9 review. We're going to go through a little project parade, show you all the projects we created in the event, share what I consider are hits and misses, as well as rank the projects that we created. Also, I'm going to be sharing all the supplies, the extra supplies that I had left over, and talk about some sneak peeks of things to come in January. And of course, I want to remind you that these are just my opinions, and that is it. It is okay if your opinions are different from mine. I'm going to start off with the pros and the cons of the event. Now, this is my third Create event. I did go to the crop at home last year. So I do have a little bit of knowledge of kind of what's the norm for the past three of them. Let me go with the pros first. So the pros of this Create is that the class PDFs were available at the beginning of the event for all the classes. Previously, PDFs were available before the class for each class. So you kind of had to wait for the class. But they had them all ready to go at the beginning of the event for all 9 classes, and I was so happy about that because I am someone who believes fervently about those PDFs. So I was so happy to download them, take a look, and that's how I pretty much kept up. And you know, I kind of have this love-hate relationship with those prep videos because in the past they've been wrong, like really wrong measurements, and it's kind of messed up, you know, the whole purpose of trying to get ready early. But it seemed like this year they were much better, more accurate, and I think they took the time to really double check. So that was a good thing. The other thing that I enjoy in every Create is the pre-recorded videos of people who share kind of their overcoming adversity and their personal stories of why crafting is important to them. I feel like, you know, that's the one thing I think all human beings share in common, is that nobody leaves this life unscathed. And those stories of perseverance are inspiring, and I really enjoy listening to those. As far as her materials, I really felt like this year she really stepped it up with the quality of the paper. Normally you get some of the papers that are specialty or like more heavy duty, but this year all of them were pretty much heavy duty cardstock and very, very nice. Also, the other thing I really thought was such a nice touch is when she included that those dividers for the boxes, because of course you're not going to throw away those boxes. They're absolutely gorgeous and well made. But this year she included those dividers so that you can use the boxes as storage for the extra embellishments and things like that, and she's not done that before. So I really, really enjoyed those things. Now, as for the cons, this year I didn't feel that they were very consistent with their instant replay. So Sarah does the exact same kind of steps that Anna shows us so that we can catch up or keep up a little bit better. But this year I felt that was very inconsistent. Sometimes she did, sometimes she didn't. And for example, with the snowflake ornament, which is, very complicated, she didn't do it at all. And so I just felt like they did a much better job with that last year, because that helps. The other thing, I guess this is more like just a kind of wish list for me. I wish that they use the class time more for actual instruction rather than like talking to, her fans or people, whatever, the Griffinites. But I do like the inspirational videos, but the kind of chit chat I wish was kind of more for the craft room later and kind of spent a little bit more time in instruction, because I feel like those little chit chats kind of take away from the instructional time. But maybe that's me as a teacher and always thinking about instructional time. But that's just a me thing. Like the craft room, to me, it's just, I have tried to make it work. I have tried to like it, but it just doesn't work for me. It's very like clicky sometimes, and it's just awkward. So, but again, that's a me thing, and it's not necessarily something that other people would feel the same way about, especially if they have people already that they know and they enjoy meeting with. One last thing I would say as a con would be that this year I felt like for some of the classes, the paper that they gave us, the specialty paper, left no room for error. Like they gave us just enough, and in some cases, you had to cut it a very specific way or you were out of luck. So I felt like, maybe one extra paper, just in case would be nice. Earlier, I talked about things that I think, if I had a little wish list of things that I could add on there, I think there are two more things that I think I would love to see happen. So one is during the classes, I kind of check in on the comments just to see what people are thinking and saying and everything. And there are people who are obviously confused, and a lot of times they're new. And so I wish that the moderators would stop once in a while, and instead of just commenting about so and so says this and so's, that's all fine and everything, but maybe they should just stop and clarify questions that people have in the chat. I think that would solve a lot of frustration if they just took, a minute and go, okay, people have a question about this, so all you need to do is da 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 da, or here's where you find this, go here, blah blah blah, here's the next one. So I think like if they just did like a brief Q&A along the way from the participant comments, I think that would help to troubleshoot problems and issues, and so that people don't get frustrated and start, venting and ranting and everything. I think that would help. The other thing I was thinking is that it would be nice if they created a video for beginners. I noticed that they were doing like very beginner things, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, we already know how to use the Empress because we're here. And so, but I think, there are beginners and maybe people that are new. And so this would be a very overwhelming thing to get into if you don't know the basics. So I think it'd be nice if Anna's team would come up with just a basics video for beginners, how to set up the plate system, what they would need. Also, as far as like some basic knowledge about the event, I think there are some, things that they can expect during the event, some realistic goals. I mean, you're not going to keep up every class. That's just not reasonable, realistic. And then just kind of like a walkthrough of the day, like, here's how it normally happens. We have a class, we have a break, we have a second class, you know what I mean? Just like the basics, and then just letting them know where they can download the PDF instructions that they can use if they fall behind or need to look at something again. So I think like a beginner's class would be very helpful. Sharing some basic tips to make it just a more smooth experience. When I am in Create, this is how I have my setup. So on the left, I have the PDF open, and on the right, I have the live stream. And then people should know that even though it's a live stream, you can pause it. And you can always go back and watch the recorded version later on. All right, so next, let me show you the extra supplies that I didn't even use. So you get so much more than you will use. And so here are just the specialty papers, the foil paper, the glitter paper, the specialty papers. Look at how much is left. Like that is a ton. So, and of course, this paper is expensive. This is the card stock. So we have some cards and some 5x7 panels. And then here are, again, full sheets of pattern paper. And remember, these are those heavyweights. So it's not text weight paper, it's that heavyweight paper. And look at all that beautiful paper. So there's all of that was left over. And these are all the embellishments. So these are just the flower, the gold foil embellishments, the things for the armoire. So look at all these packs and packs of things that I didn't even use, and I wasn't stingy. I added a lot of embellishment to my things per my usual. Here's the dresses, so yeah, you get a lot. These are all of the trims. So there's all these ribbons, pre-tied ribbons, loose ribbons, twine, and all of the little trim that we got for the Victorian Christmas cards. And then these are all the sentiments. So as you can see, tons of sentiments. These are Christmas, birthday, all occasions. So you get lots and lots of extra sentiments. And of course, all these things you can use on other things. These are card bases, the inserts for the cards, and the envelopes. So if there's a card, you will get an envelope. And then these are brand new for this year, and these were the dividers. These are the foam tape. Now I didn't use mine because I used what I already had open, and then I haven't opened the double-sided tape because I have my own. And then these are the non-consumables. These are all of the dies that we got for this Create that of course you have forever because they're super well made, and they were really, really beautiful. They were 3D for the most part, which, she hasn't always done 3D dies, but fabulous. Are you ready for my rankings? Here we go. Number 9, no surprise, those Christmas crackers. Number 8, Victorian Christmas. Number 7, the perfect tags. Number 6, the photo finish easel cards. Number 5, the beautiful birthday cards. Number 4, the antique armoire. Number 3, the heirloom ornaments. Number 2, the perfume boxes. And number 1, gotta give it up to the Trellis album. Love her albums. Now, a few sneak peeks of what's coming next year. Now, I'm not going to show you anything because it's not going to be that kind of sneaky peek. But for finishing school, if you like Victorian, Bridgerton-inspired kind of unique things, you will love the finishing school coming up. I'm probably going to pass because, Victorian, and it's not really my thing. All right, Crop at Home 4 news. She did have a pre-sale, and I did buy a ticket. So I will be at Crop at Home 4 because I'm going to make an album for my grandbaby. She did mention changes that she was making to the album. It's still going to be 12 by 12, but it'll be a different type of album. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining me for this review of Create 9. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for your comments and for watching and liking and all of that good stuff. I will see you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye.